welcome back to my channel. For those of you new, welcome, and for those of you returning, welcome back. My name is Sian and today we are here with a cozy autumn vibes stitching update. That's what we're going to call this video. It is very much an autumn day today. It's really been like this all week here in the UK. It's just, you can really feel the sense of change in the seasons, and officially autumn has arrived. For me, autumn really starts September, but it's actually the 22nd of September when it starts. But let's be honest, September the 1st is when autumn starts. We've got the autumn decor vibes going on in the background. I actually bought this recently and we love it. It actually sits in our hallway and it really just gives a really nice sense of mood lighting, and that's probably one of my favourite things about autumn is the mood lighting that you can kind of create in your house. I know some people do struggle with the changes in the seasons, and I completely understand that because, you know, the dark nights aren't the greatest, but it does give you that sense of coziness when you can get under your blanket, you can get your lights on, you get your little electronic tea lights that I've got in the background. So yeah, I do really enjoy autumn. So the autumn stitching has started. I have been posting on Instagram, so I know a few of you have already seen some of the things I'm going to be showing today if you follow me over on Instagram. And yeah, I'm really enjoying the autumn stitching at the moment. So I'm currently on a week's leave, which has been so nice, and it was definitely needed. So me and Brett we haven't really done anything at all this week. And a lot of that's actually down to the weather. It's been quite a rainy, windy, typical kind of autumn vibes. I'm not complaining because I have just pretty much stitched all week. And it's just been really nice just to have nothing to do. Just relax really. So yeah, there's not really much to update you on. September has really just flown past. I was actually watching Mary Ashcraft's video, her latest video today, and she was saying how the later on in the year, the months just seem to fly by, and I can completely agree in that it feels like yesterday that I was only speaking to you, and we're now here for my September update, which is it's just gone so fast. So I hope you're all doing well. Get your drink. I've got a oat milk latte today. Cat jumping up. I normally have caramel syrup in my coffee, but we have run out. So I've got a vanilla Nespresso, and I normally have caramel. And I know that's probably, some people are like, what? You have vanilla and caramel? I'm a sweet tooth kind of girl, so today we don't have any of that. But I hope you are all cozy, and wherever you are, whatever you're doing, I hope you're all well, and let's just get straight into the video. Okay, starting with my finish. The first one is by Puntini Puntini, When I Think of Autumn, and you guys absolutely gave me so much love over on Instagram. I did post this earlier this month and it got so much love, so thank you so much. It is such a gorgeous design, and it is just, I really enjoyed stitching on this. I started this the second week of September and I think I finished it within about 4 or 5 days. I couldn't put it down, and yeah, it's just, I loved it. It's my first autumn piece this year that I've started. Or did I start the actually the autumn pillar is actually the first project I started, but it's my first piece in autumn that I have started, and it is just dreamy. Huge fan of Puntini designs, and I just love the buttons that she uses within her designs. I just love it. So I'm currently trying to decide how I'm going to finish this, whether I'm going to finish it in a frame or whether I'm going to mount it with maybe some material on the back of it. I'm not too sure how I'm going to finish this one yet. I just really hope I get something sorted so that I can put it up whilst it's autumn. But I didn't change any of the design. The only thing I did change was some of the colours. Yeah, so I think I changed some of the colours here and it was really down to not having all the colours in stash, to be honest. And so I just decided to stitch what I had available. Some of them are the colourful colours, but then some of them are changed out. So if you want any of the details on that, then just let me know. So yeah, I just really enjoy the buttons that she includes in her designs. I know I've said it before, but I think it just, I don't know, it just makes the designs even more special when you get the buttons that are part of the design to go with it. So yeah, that is my first finish. So another thing that I want to mention about Puntini Puntini Designs is that she has also brought out a freebie complimentary chart to go with the seasons, and it says season or seasons, and it's something that you could make into a pillow to store your pins on. So if you're familiar with the Puntini designs, you will know that they have pins that you can stick into your pillows. If you do make it into a pillow, you can stick the pins in the top of the pillow, and that is also another option for me to make. But as I've already got an autumn pillow, I'm not too sure whether to make this one into a pillow, but it is something that I could potentially do as well. And so she's brought out a seasons freebie chart, which I'll insert a picture here so you can see it. And I just think it's such a great idea to stick the pins into the pillow so that when you're in one season, you can stick the pins in the season pillow, and then you can swap them out through the season. The other thing that I want to mention is that Puntini Puntini now has an Etsy store, which is awesome, because that means that now we can get hold of the PDF. So she hasn't uploaded all of her charts to the shop yet. It is I think it's quite early days for her at the moment. I did see that she had uploaded some of the seasonal houses, and I believe she has also uploaded the seasonal designs as well, this style. So yeah, I just thought I would mention that to you if you are someone who has been wanting to get hold of one of her charts, but for some reason can't get hold of a hard copy. You can now get a PDF download, which is great news. So yeah, that is my Puntini Puntini finish. Moving on to a new start. In my last video, I shared with you a freebie chart that Cressetta Gogo had brought out, and I started it. So I fell in love with it as soon as I saw the freebie chart, and I'll insert a picture of the chart that I am referring to so you can see what it looks like. Now, I have done some changes to the colours only because I didn't have all the colours in stash, and the yellow that I have actually implemented into the design, I only had a few strands of thread. So instead of substituting for another yellow that didn't really fit with autumn colours and waiting for threads, I decided to just change it. So I have made quite a lot of progress on this, and this is my autumn design. It's not my autumn design, but you know what I mean, my autumn start. So this is a freebie that Cressetta Gogo brought out in autumn 2019, I believe, or it's called autumn 2019. So she brought this out in 2019, and I just think it is super cute. So I've made quite a lot of progress on this, and I have done a few changes to the design, but it mostly is the same. So I finished the autumn at the top this morning, so I just have some pumpkins that I need to add on the sides of the autumn. I need to finish the birds here and then add the grass, and then potentially add in a colour into the windows. I'm not too sure, because the design has white in the windows, but my house is white. So I'm not sure whether to leave it as it is and just have the fabric showing through, or to potentially add blinds, which is what I did with my home stitch home, or whether to maybe add like a blue sky colour into there. So I'm trying to decide what to do with that. And I'm also trying to decide on the colour of the birds. So at the moment there are two browns in the design. So there's this colour and the tree colour. Trying to figure out what colour to use on that. So I haven't actually got too much to go on that. And then I think I'm going to mount this onto like a flat mount board with some colour on the back with a bit of ribbon or something like that, just to dress it up. So, and then I put it on my easel. So that is the plan with this one. So this is super close, so this should be finished for my next video, and then hopefully I will have 2 autumn decoration pieces that I can display this autumn, which is super exciting. So yeah, if you like this design, it is a freebie chart and I will link it down below. As I've said before, Cressetta Gogo has so many amazing freebie designs, and there is a season, there is a freebie design for each of the seasons as well in this same style. So I do have the winter one printed and the Christmas one already printed out, ready to go. So yeah, I'm going to be doing a lot more of these. One thing I didn't mention was these 2 autumn pieces have been put on 32 count Murano in the colour Platinum, and I'm going to insert the name of the eBay shop that I buy a lot of my fabric from, because they are just amazing. They post really quickly, and yeah, they are a great distributor to buy from. Moving on to my restart. So I shared with you a couple of videos ago that I had been gifted the beautiful Believe in Christmas by Cressetta Gogo, which was amazing. And I started it on some 32 count Belfast linen. And I started in the bottom left and I started stitching the tree. And I mentioned to you that I was struggling a little bit with the fabric, and I did decide to change the fabric, which I was really disappointed with, because I do feel like that would have been amazing when it was finished. But I am very much learning that fabric choice plays a really big part in your enjoyment of stitching the design you're stitching. And so I felt that it potentially would stop me from gravitating to the design, even though I absolutely love the design. So I decided to change the fabric, and I changed it to a 32 count Murano Platinum, so the same as the autumn pieces, as I really felt like the colourway really popped on that fabric. I did consider the colour taupe as well, and I asked Brett if he could look at the colours and decide with me which he thought, because I was a bit unsure whether to go for a more darker colour to make the white pop. But he agreed with me in that the platinum colour really gave it more of a Christmas vibe colour. So I've restarted it, and it is in my lovely bag that my mum made me. So this is my restart. Look how cute that reindeer is. The thing that I love about this reindeer is the detailing here. Sorry, my chair's making noises. Just these little, I hope you can see that, the little pom-poms, I call them. Oh, it's just the cutest. And I didn't even expect to want to start on Christmas, as I've been so into my autumn. But this material arrived, I think I ordered it on the Monday this week, and it arrived on Wednesday, and I was just so desperate to get started again on this pattern, because 1, I love the pattern, and 2, I also just wanted to see whether I'd made the right decision in the fabric. And I'm so glad that I have decided to change it, because I just think that 1, this colour is really nice. I think it makes the colours pop. And 2, I am so much more comfortable on evenweave. I really didn't want to start in the same place that I started in the last time. So I just thought I'm going to start in the middle. So this little guy is roughly in the middle. I think the middle is just below his foot. And so I thought, right, I'm going to start in the middle. I was really drawn to the reds as well. I'll actually get the reds out so you can see because they are beautiful. So these are the 3 reds that are in the design and they are just so pretty. So this one is 3801. This one is the wrong way round. So what colour is that? So this is like a darker red, which is 816, and then this one is 321. And so this little guy has been done in the lighter red, which is the 3801. And then his little nose has been done in the 321. So there are actually 3 of these reindeers and they all have the 3 different reds throughout them. And one thing I'm not too sure on, and I would love to know what you would do, is that in the design all of them have red noses. So to me they're all Rudolph. And I'm just wondering whether this little guy is the one closest to Santa in the design. And I'm wondering whether to have him with the red nose and the other 3 with just a normal, you know, brown nose, to make Rudolph kind of show up more in the design. Or would you just stay with the red noses throughout? Because I love the design as it is, but I'm just wondering whether to make it even more traditional in making the this little guy stand out with the red nose to make him be Rudolph. Or would you put the one in the middle with the red nose? That is currently my dilemma with this design. And I'm sure when I get to the other ones, I'll make my mind up. But it was just something that I thought of when I was stitching him. And when I saw that he needed a red nose, I checked with the other ones and all the other ones also have red noses. So I was like, do I make a change there or do I just keep with the design? So yeah, let me know on that. But I am thoroughly enjoying this. This is definitely going to be one that I don't finish this year because it's quite a big design. It's 211 by 171 wide. So, or is it the other way around? I think it might be 211 wide by 171 high. But it's just, I love it. I really, really, really like it. So yeah, that is my restart and I'm so glad I have decided to use this fabric. So the pattern is currently being housed in a project bag that my mum made, which is this gorgeous gold bag, she's made it so that the Q-snap can fit in it, which I really appreciate. And also she has made me a little thread pouch, which is housing all my threads for the design, which matches. We all know I like a matching project bag. And also we have a thread catcher, which is currently a mess inside. But look at that. These are just awesome because they catch all your threads and look, they just sit. It's amazing. Absolutely love it. So she made me one of these, which I just love them. I just don't think I could be without one of these now because they are awesome. And she also made me a grind guard. So I mean, I've now got 4 things that I need in a project bag. Last time I spoke to you, I said I needed 3 of them, but now we've got a whole set. And this material is super special because this is fabric that has been passed down from my nan's sister, who I call my auntie. She was a seamstress like my nan was, and she had this material. I'm not sure how old she was. I should ring her and ask her really, see if she remembers this fabric. And she bought this for £75 a metre. This material is 100% Egyptian cotton, and I have no idea how old this fabric is. It's definitely fabric before me, I think. I'm sure she bought this before I was even alive, but I'm going to see if I can show you close up. I'm wondering whether you can see the woven fabric, and look how shiny it is. Honestly, it is just dreamy. and I wouldn't even know how much this kind of fabric would be in today's age. If it was £75 years ago, then I wouldn't even know. So this is just the dreamiest fabric. It's just so gorgeous, and I feel so incredibly lucky to have this now to use. So it got passed to my mum. I'm not really sure how my mum got hold of it or how she has it, but I know she's had this fabric for years, stashed away in a cupboard, and she decided to make use of it. And, you know, instead of it just being sat in a box, she has made me some amazing items for my stitching. And it's just, it's so nice to have something made, one, by my mum, but also by fabric that has been in the family for a long time. So yeah, there is some information that I want to insert here about this fabric, just to give you a bit more information about its kind of history and its purpose. I feel like I'm doing an Evelyn material minute here. So yeah, it's just, yeah, it's amazing. And thank you, Mum, for making me these. As always, you always make the most amazing things. So yeah, I'm fully kitted out for my Believe in Christmas, and now I want 4 things for every project instead of 3. It's going to get expensive. The next one is in my little pink bag, and this one is the Valerie Pfeiffer Harmonies chorus line, and this is what it's going to look like when it's finished. This one here. Insert a picture of where I was last time. And I've made really good progress on this one. So this is where we are now. So unfortunately I didn't get a finish, and I'll explain why. But we now have 6 gorgeous little birds sitting in a line, and it's just super cute. So my plan in September was to have this finished. But unfortunately, I did run out of a few threads. Now, luckily, they are DMC threads, and they do have the numbers of what they are. So I was able to pull some from stash, but unfortunately, there are 2 that I wasn't able to pull from stash. And when I went to Hobbycraft, I wasn't able to find them there either. They didn't have them in stock. So this little guy here, he is the one that has some stitches still left to go, and then the rest are now to be backstitched. So I have backstitched some of them, and there is quite a lot of backstitch on this. So I'm really hoping that I'm able to obtain the threads before my next upload and have this finished, and then I can get it framed. So it's super, super close now. I love it, it's so cute. It hasn't taken too long to get this one stitched up really, and I've loved every stitch of this one. It's so, so cute, but it's just a shame that unfortunately some of the threads I have ran out, but that's okay because we can get them sorted with it being DMC. So that is the chorus line, and let's move on to the next one. So the next one is my Bothy Threads Buttercup. This is the stitch along that some of you have joined me in. So I am doing the Buttercup, which is these 3 beautiful little ducklings. And we are now on part 4. And I'm happy to say I am on part 4. So I'm really glad that I moved from the bottom and moved up to the ducklings. So I'll insert a picture of where I was last time. So I think when I showed it last time, I think I'd done part 2, I think, because I was behind on this. And then I decided to move up to the ducklings so that I could catch up a little bit and get on track with everything. So here is where we are now. So we now have a duckling and 3/4 of a duckling, and it's really starting to take shape. I'm so glad that I moved up, as I feel like the bottom bit was getting a little bit boring, So I really wanted to see, you know, more of the picture. So I'm really glad that I moved up and got away from constantly working on green. But now that I've moved up, I now feel like I want to go back down. So the bottom section here is probably the biggest part to go. I wouldn't even know how many stitches are in there, but there is quite a lot of stitches. So one thing I haven't really factored in is the back stitch. So I think I'm going to have to leave the back stitch in to part 6 and include that in part 6. So what I'm going to do, this was part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4. So I've nearly finished part 4. I'm then going to do part 5 as the big green area, because I don't think it would be a good idea to leave the big part as the part 6 as well as have all the back stitching. So I'm going to move back down here, get the green done. Then I'm going to do the duckling, the last duckling, as well as the greenery here and the flowers. So that even, I think part 5 and 6 are probably going to be my biggest parts, but I think this section up the top here is probably going to be less stitching than the bottom. But I am going to check that, because now that I'm looking, it potentially may be more to do this section. So I'll work it out, and then I'll do part 5 as the biggest part. So then when I have all the back stitching to do, I get that finished for the end of the year, because that's the plan. The last part is in November, and November the 20th is part 6. And so many of you are just smashing it. You guys are just doing so well in keeping up with the parts. I am currently trying to keep up with the parts, and I'm on part 4, so I'm currently at a good point with this, but I really hope to get this one finished. So that is where I currently am. It's just super cute. I'm loving it so much, and I definitely wouldn't be here without you guys. I think that's the great thing about stitch alongs, isn't it? Is it does kind of hold you accountable to keep going with it, and seeing all of your progress on yours really does encourage me to pick mine up. So yeah, this is where I am at the moment. So I did have a question that I wanted to answer from Anna, and Anna asked if I have ever stitched a Wrendale design from a chart rather than a kit, and she's wondering what kind of fabric I would use if so. So the answer is no, I haven't. I've always stitched Wrendale designs from the Bothy Threads kits. And I was never aware that you could actually stitch a Wrendale design from anywhere else. However, I have seen a Wrendale design cross-stitching pattern in a magazine before. I think if you aren't too bothered about the speckled look that, you know, Wrendale Designs is known about, I think you could choose any design, any fabric. You could choose, you know, your favourite fabric. I think as long as it makes the fabric that you choose or the colour you choose complements the design, I think you can, you know, do whatever you want. But for me personally, I am currently trying to decide whether the speckled look is the reason why I like the Bothy Thread kits, the Wrendale Design cross-stitching. For me, the speckled look forms part of the design, and my worry is that if I stitched it on fabric that didn't have any of that, could it take away the Wrendale Design unique look? You can buy evenweave, which I have seen, which does have that spec design, but it's more of a circular design than a specked, flicked design. It's really hard to explain that, but there is an evenweave that you can get hold of. I have seen it on Lakeside Needlecrafts, and I have actually seen somebody stitch a Wrendale design on it. I think it does have a bit of a different effect. I think it is a good alternative if you don't want to stitch on evenweave, on aida, sorry. And I would be really interested to hear your view on that, whether you're a Bothy Threads Wrendale Design stitcher or not. You know, do you feel like the speckled look is just as important as the actual stitching and the design? Or do you think that, you know, changing the fabric and not having the spec in the back would matter? I mean, the other option is to, and I was speaking to Evelyn about this, in that, you know, I could buy some fabric, you know, maybe just white fabric, some 32 count white fabric. Obviously, if I got 32 count, it would make the design smaller. And potentially get some dye, some fabric dye, and, you know, create the specs myself, you know, get some maybe a paintbrush or something and do the specs myself, you know, allow the fabric to dry and stitch on that. So I think there is a way around it if I do feel like I want to change the fabric but continue with the speckled look. So yeah, it's a really interesting question, that, because it is something that I am currently trying to decide. And maybe you've asked me that question because you're the same, in that you're trying to decide yourself. I am trying to figure out myself what to do with the fabric. So as always, I always do a shout out for one of you who have taken part in the stitch along with me, and in today's video I'm going to be giving a shout out to Samantha, and her handle is vet_nurse_stitches, and she is currently stitching the cutest design called, let me get this right, Piggy in the Middle, and it is just adorable. I absolutely love this one. And I think I say that about them all because they are so cute, but this one in particular is super sweet. I think you'll actually see that she's actually ahead. I think she might even be on part 4 or part 5, or she's kind of starting to stitch on part 4 and 5. So Samantha, you do an amazing job, and I can't wait to see it all finished. It is super cute. And yeah, I can't wait to see what you do with it, whether you're going to frame it when you finish it or whether you're going to make it to a pillow. The pillows that people do for the Wrendale Designs kits are super cute. I've always considered them. So yeah, I am really intrigued as to how you're going to finish it, but you're doing so well in keeping up, especially with the stitch along, because these Wrendale Design kits are not small. They aren't small at all, especially when you've got other projects on the go. But yeah, it is so cute. So yeah, thank you for taking part in the stitch along, and yeah, I can't wait to see your finish. So the last things to show you is just my haul. I don't have that much, but I did actually invest in the DMC card booklet, colour card booklet. I don't really know what the name is of this, but it is amazing. It is quite expensive, but I am so happy I bought this because it's amazing, because I went for the thread one, and if you've never seen this, you've probably all seen it, but I don't even know if I'm going to be able to get it on the camera, but this is what you get. So the reason why I went for the thread one is I like the idea of, I feel like it gives the colours better if there was a threads, because you can then lay your thread onto the card to match it up. And the reason why I got this was because I do quite a lot of colour changes, because I don't have a full DMC kit, and I think it's really helpful to see when a chart has a certain colour in it and you particularly don't have that colour. I think it's good to see what that colour is, so then you could potentially look in your stash and match it to the closest thing. So that is one of the reasons why I got it, and I just love it. It also has all of the all the special threads, the kind of glittery ones. And so I'm going to go from one side to the other so you can see. So this is the full DMC colours, and there are so many. I didn't realise how many there was. So these are the reds and the pinks and the purples. Then it moves into blues and greens. So then we get to here. Then we have all of these colours. I hope you can see that because I can't see. Then we have these colours, then these ones, and then this is a list of key to colour numbers, it says. And so many colours, and I love it. I got this from Amazon. And so, yeah, you can get them from Amazon. And I was going to ask it for Christmas, but then I just ended up treating myself to it because I haven't really bought anything else other than a pair of scissors from Hobbycraft. So I just bought these pair of scissors whilst I was there trying to find my thread, which I couldn't obviously buy. I bought a pair of scissors because I don't actually have too many scissors, and so I just bought this little pink pair, which are actually quite good actually, I quite like them. And so yeah, I treated myself to this from Amazon, and yeah, I love it. And when I saw it, when I opened it, I was just like, wow, there are so many colours in here. I mean, I would love to have the full kit, you know, the full set of DMC. But yeah, I'm finding it really, really helpful. And like I said, I quite often swap out threads, so this is going to come in handy. So that is everything from me. That is my September update. I feel like September has flown by, but I actually feel like I've stitched quite a lot, and I think having this week off has definitely helped with that because I've been able to stitch quite a lot, and I've really enjoyed stitching on my autumn pieces. The next month, or the next couple of weeks, I'm going to be focused on the Bothy Threads finishing part 4 and starting part 5. Part 5 is probably going to be my biggest part. Well, part 6 is probably going to be the biggest because it's going to have the back stitching as well. And I'm really hoping to finish the Harmonies chorus line by Valerie Pfeiffer as well. Hope to get the last couple of threads that I need to get that one finished. And then I think it's going to be Christmas stitching. So yeah, that is going to be quite exciting, and yeah, I think that is it. I hope you're all enjoying your weekend, and I hope you have a great October, and I will speak to you at the end of October or beginning of November, whenever I decide to sit down and chat with you all. But thank you so much for stopping by and hanging out with me today, and yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.